Oh, hello. This is the Oh Hello podcast with me, John Whalen, Colin, and Sean filling in for Isaac today. Before we get today, we'll be having a fan base draft in honor of the draft. We will be drafting different fan bases of different kinds today. I brought Sean on here to replace Isaac right now. Isaac, his work schedule will keep him from making every episode, but Sean's very ball knowledgeable. We played against each other in high school, and I think he's going to be a good fit for this podcast. He's a fan just like you and me, and that's what makes this podcast great. Before we get started in the meat and potatoes things, I want to go over a few things though. First of all, I want to give a shout out to my cousin at Stillman College. They're the defending HBCU softball champions, and they're defending their title this weekend. Sean, just for the people that may be watching this podcast and not know who you are, can you tell us a little bit about who you are?
Well, I'm Sean. I'm originally from Alabama. I'm stationed in the Marine Corps in North Carolina, and I'm a Roll Tide through and through. Roll Tide, Nick Saban, Colbert. Come on.
All right. Can you tell us a little bit why you love sports, why you love talking about sports, why you love doing this?
I've loved it ever since I was a kid. I played all three major sports, and that's just where I come from. We bleed crimson, and we born and raised on football because that's all we got.
Yes, yes. Me and Sean live very close together. That is all we got is Alabama football. That is a for sure a fact. And one more question before we really get into this thing, Sean. Can you give me your hottest take in sports right now?
My hottest take in sports right now is that actually it's against my home team, right? So, as many of you don't know, I'm a Atlanta Braves fan too, right? I think they're gonna have a great year. I think they're gonna have a fantastic regular season, and then my hot take is that they get put out in the first round.
Hey, I don't know. I'm liking where the Braves are at. You know, baseball's a long season, but we got more wins than the Dodgers, and that's nothing but a bought program. And we haven't lost a series yet. I know we split with the Diamondbacks,
It's the year for the Reds.
so they're looking good. They're looking really good, actually. They're not looking bad. They're playing good baseball. I would be happy if I was a Reds fan too. But the first thing I want to get into, um, like I said before, I'm a Miami Dolphins fan, like y'all know. And I just want to talk about some things going into the draft. Um, and for me, we can talk about. I know you're a Bears fan. I know you're a Panthers fan, Sean. We can talk about what y'all's teams need to build on. But the first thing I want to hit on, I really just want to hit on with the Miami Dolphins going into this draft is the Malik Willis era. And I think Malik Willis is a great quarterback. I know you may disagree with that, Colin. Uh,
No, no,
being
keep
a
going. I like
being a
Malik
Bears
Willis.
fan, but he showed a lot of flashes. He looked really good at Green Bay, but I think Miami's setting him up to fail. So I'm really interested to see what we do in this draft. Um, if Caleb Downs somehow falls to 11, which I think is very possible due to team needs, I think we should go with him. But there's so much we need to fix just for Malik Willis to have a successful era in Miami. We need to fix our pass rush. We need to get pass catch options. And there's good players in the draft like Casey Concepcion that we could get later in the first round. But I'm looking to see if there's good offensive linemen in the first round, and there's good defensive backs with Caleb Downs being one of the main one I would want to see Miami get. I just don't know if he falls down to 11. A lot of mock drafts I've seen have seen him fall to 11 as well as Mekhi Lemon, which we need everything. So I'm just interested to see what we do in this draft because I don't want Malik Willis back there running for his life. But
Yeah,
what is
man. Hey, I'll tell you what, magical season for my Chicago Bears last year. The big things, obviously, that the Bears need, and they don't have a lot of needs, which is kind of crazy. I don't remember having this little needs going into a draft, but you're talking about needing to replace two starting safeties. They did with one side with Kobe Bryant coming over from Seattle. Now you kind of have to fill that other side. Will they go there in the first round? I kind of hope that if it's not Dylan Thieneman, they go with their other needs, defensive line, interior. I think there's going to be a lot of good options there. Caleb Banks. I hope Caden McDonald, especially as an Ohio State fan, falls to us. He's dominant. He's tremendous. But on the offensive side, really, it's about offensive line. We just had to sign a center from or get a center from the Patriots. And then also all the concerns about our second rounder last year, Ozzie Trapillo, and his potential of playing football in the future. That's a big concern right now. So tackle could be a concern. But I think in the first round, Bears going defense.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that at all. I'm high on the Bears going into this season. I said I've talked about it a little bit in the last episode when you made a hot take about how you think the Bears are going to win many Super Bowls. If we look at the Patriots, and I'm a big Drake May lover, we look at the Patriots, I think they fall off from a Super Bowl, but the Bears, I think they could possibly make a run, and I totally agree with you. And Caleb Tatarian, I want to get into him a little bit because I did take some notes on him, and I want to talk about him later on. I think he's my favorite offensive lineman in this draft. I will go ahead and say that. But Sean, what do you feel about your Panthers? I know they did a lot in free agency. So what really are y'all looking for in this draft?
Man, so my Panthers, right? It's been a lot of ups and downs, a lot of ups and downs over the years. I think the biggest key to success this year is honestly, I think we need another offensive lineman. I mean, that's just me personally thinking. I think we finally have the weapons that are gonna surround Bryce Young to be able to execute and play at an elite ball level that we all know he can play at because we seen it last year, right? I mean, he had a rough year before middle of the season. I mean, he turned it on, right? I mean, we seen what kind of change that he made halfway through the season, and I really think he turned it on, especially on the later half of the season. So if he gets those pass blockers and we can keep the run game like we did last year, man, I think we're in for a good run this year. And honestly, the defense plays like they did last year, and maybe we get a couple steals in the draft. I mean, I don't know what really we would go after, honestly. I mean, we got a lot of good players coming back. But I mean, we lost one of our 1-2 punch on offense, so that sucks to see go. But I still think we got a great running back, and I think Tatoria is going to have another great year. I think that he kind of has a really good year this year, and I think that he possibly could be a top 10 receiver this year.
So, yeah, I agree with you as well. The Panthers, they had I think I'm high on Bryce Young. I think him and CJ Stroud are neck and neck right now. They were drafted in the same class. They look neck and neck to me as far as accomplishments go.
Whoa,
Um,
no.
why do you say that?
Okay, well, first off, one of them did win Rookie of the Year, and the other one has won 3 playoff games versus one not winning any. And they both were picked 1 and 2, so they both went to bad franchise.
We got to look at the
Yes,
teams they both played for, though.
I
I
get
think
that.
I
And look,
think
this past season, sure, you can make the argument that the defense ended up carrying, especially like what they were able to do against the Steelers was kind of
Will Anderson
crazy.
Jr.'s that guy, man.
Yeah, no, for sure. And look, they did get 2 and 3 that year when they picked Stroud. But Stroud has done a lot of good in his time in Houston. Just because it was bad towards the end of the year last year doesn't mean it's going to stay bad.
I will say this. I think talent wise, I may have worded that wrong. Talent wise, I think they're neck and neck. One hasn't really showed me like when CJ Stroud showed me flashes, Bryce Young's looking terrible. When Bryce Young's looking terrible, CJ Stroud showed me flashes of being great. So neither one of them have really put themselves ahead of each other as far as talent. I worded that wrong. I shouldn't have said accomplishments, but I think the Texans have done a way better job since they drafted Stroud of rebuilding their franchise. Where the Panthers have just now gotten to ways to say, "Wait, hey, we're a playoff caliber team." And also, the second point I was going to hit with Sean, and it's a good point for this argument too, is the Panthers might be a playoff caliber team, but they're in a division that's wide open. The NFC South, we look at it, Baker Mayfield and the Buccaneers are the biggest threat, but they're falling off. They've lost Mike Evans, so we don't know how they're going to look going into this season. We don't know if they're going to do something, which I know this episode will air after the first round, but we don't know if they're going to do anything in the draft to fix the wide receiver issue. Which they got Ibuka. They got Ibuka still, and he's going to be a very talented NFL wide receiver. But the Saints, they're still rebuilding. The Falcons,
and just had to
oh,
pay
I
out,
mean,
and they just had to pay out Kirk Cochain. They just had to pay his big old buyout.
but now they got Penix and Tua, who I think are two talented quarterbacks. But we know the issue. We know the issue with both of those quarterbacks. It's the
They're
same person.
left-handed.
I was going to say health. I mean, I think left-handed quarterbacks are solid.
No, I'm just playing.
But since we've covered all that, I want to go on. Unless y'all want to argue about it a little bit more, but I think we're kind of on the same page so far, except about the C.J. Stroud and Bryce Young.
Yeah.
But
Which that's a discussion we could always have in TikTok Live. Join John Whalen, the Hollis's TikTok Lives, baby.
I want
They're
to get
fun
into
time.
some players that stick out to you in this NFL draft. I'm gonna try to stay away for quarterbacks because we got a later segment coming up about quarterbacks. But the first player I'm gonna go with the players that stick out to me in this draft. I think there's a lot of wide receivers and they're talked about a lot. But I think what people are missing out is how good some of these offensive linemen are and defensive backs. I'm gonna name 3 defensive backs that are really sticking out to me in this draft, and some of them are gonna be second round picks, I believe. I like 2 Tennessee guys. I'm gonna speak for Isaac since he can't be here today. Uh, Colton Hood and Jermod McCoy. I think they are a good defensive back that you might find in the second round. That can lead your defensive backfield. 2 very good defensive backs. If you go watch film on them, very, very talented, very high on them, very good careers at Tennessee. And then Caleb Downs. As this transfer portal mess has begun, Caleb Downs is really the only player that has physically hurt me to see him live at Alabama. But even though he finished at Ohio State, I still love the guy. And I think he's the best overall player in the NFL draft. I'm really hoping he falls down to that 11th spot. But he's a top 10 player, the best player. And if the Raiders had a quarterback, I would take Caleb Downs with the number 1 overall pick. And that's how I feel about Caleb Downs. But those are about 4 players. Oh, and then sorry, I forgot my offensive tackles. Caden Proctor at Alabama. He is going to protect any quarterback that he plays for in the NFL, and any defensive lineman that gets in his way better watch out. And Caleb Tatarian, I think, is slightly better than Proctor. He's not the number 1 rated offensive tackle in the draft, but I do think he's the best offensive tackle in the draft. Didn't watch a lot of Northwestern games. Had to go back and watch some film on this guy because Northwestern's not very good, but it wasn't because he wasn't blocking. You don't see a lot of defensive linemen get around him.
Sean, do you want to go?
Yeah, I'll go. So my first one, I'm gonna go with Kenyon Sadiq from Oregon. He's just he's a freak athlete, right? So
Don't
we
mind.
all know he's just, I mean, we seen what he did. I mean, he didn't have like the best year overall. I mean, receiving wise, if we want to talk about it, I mean, he didn't like go off during the season, right? But the combine basically showed me what kind of athlete and what kind of like player he is going to be going into the NFL. I mean, the dude, I mean, is running faster times than some of these running backs and wide receivers, right? I mean, he's got speed. He's got the height. He's got the build to be a freak athlete and even play wide receiver in the NFL, if we're being honest. So if somebody does
Sean,
pick him up.
Can I piggyback off that too? I will say with Kenyon Sadiq, a couple of things there. When you see the flashes when you watch him over at Oregon, I mean, you could see that athleticism displayed. He's a great inline blocker too, so he's not just like a receiving threat, and I think that's why he's elevated up these draft boards. But I saw this dude in person. He is freaky, man. He is freaky to see just a few rows in front of you, just hurdling Penn State players at the Big Ten championship and scoring touchdowns.
Yeah.
This guy's a freak, and I know why you like him because you know the Panthers are going to pick him, huh?
Low key, that's what I'm hoping for. But
Yeah,
we'll
that's what
see.
I had.
I mean, if the Panthers pick him up, that offense is gonna look really, really good. I'm just not big on Leggett. Leggett needs to take his country bumpkin self and just pack his bags and call it quits.
Jeez.
Leggett is just
Anyway.
at this point, Leggett's just like he's like a money figure, if we're being honest. He's funny, he's he's a attention gainer.
There's no way Leggett really is that way. That is a dog and pony show. There is no way he actually acts like that and talks like that. There's no way. I'm from Alabama and I'm a country bumpkin. Nobody acts or talks like that. Dude said he ate raccoon. I've never in my life seen anybody hit a raccoon.
I
So,
made
yeah,
it.
we just run it over.
I can't say I've ate raccoon once in my life.
Yeah, you should have heard him in his country accent. I don't even know if I can do it. Yeah, we run over a raccoon and we put it on the grill and ate it. It's on interview. Go look it up in the Panthers locker room.
Yeah. But to continue, just so we don't lose the time. My second one is Sonny Styles from Ohio State. I think he is getting a lot less looked at because of Averill Reese. I mean, I think he's getting looked at as a little bit, and he's getting not enough attention. My bad. And the reason I say that is because I think that he is going to have a lot more upside than Averill has, and the reason I say that is because everybody's looking at Averill and like, dang, he's possibly a top 5 pick. He's possibly at minimum a top 10 pick. I mean, the dude's a freak, right? Averill is a freak, but I think Sonny has a lot more upside just because of the potential that can be there. And he had a great year at Ohio State. We've seen what that defense did all year with those 3 main guys. We've already highlighted them: Averill, Caleb Downs, and Sonny Styles. All 3 of those guys, absolute freaks, right?
Don't forget about Carnell Tate.
Well, I'm talking about
He's just talking about defense.
Yeah. The defense, those were the 3 guys, right? If we're being honest, those were your 3 guys, right? Bosh, I think you can agree. Those were your 3 main dudes.
Yeah, primary, and then there's solid guys behind them. But
right.
those
No,
were
I'm
the 3
not saying that.
for sure.
Not saying that nobody else, weren't good athletes, but those guys outshined everybody else on that field. If we're being honest,
I'm about to.
And those 2
And the
linebackers, they fed off of each other. If we're being honest, they were like a 1-2 punch running back combo, but they were linebackers, right? I mean, we saw speed, we saw hard hitting, we saw good form tackles, right? I mean, those guys, they don't miss a lot of tackles, right? Sonny Styles and Averill Reese, neither one of them missed a lot of tackles all year long. And that's why I think Sonny's going to be a little bit better and have a little more upside than Averill, because I feel like that he had a better form tackle. He had better like he broke down the offense better than Averill did, if in my opinion. Going back and watching the film, that's just my opinion. But my third guy.
Hold on before you get to your third guy. I want to piggyback on the Sonny Styles thing.
Okay.
I think Arvell Reese is a little bit better player than Sonny Styles, and here's why. And it's because I seen Arvell Reese be very versatile, and Colin, you can correct me if I'm wrong. I see him be very versatile in that Ohio State defense, to where he could play in any style of defense and he could move around. Even I think Caleb Downs was the best player on that defense and kind of the quarterback of that defense. But they used Arvell Reese in many, many different ways. And Sonny Styles is going to be a dog too, don't get me wrong. But I really like Arvell Reese because there's more versatility with him. But I don't disagree with you. I just wanted to piggyback out that and throw that out here. And I also want to say, I know Bosch was loving this episode. He's got 2 Bama fans doing nothing but talking good about Ohio State players.
Especially Sean talking good about Ohio State. Never thought I'd see it.
I hate the fucking Buckeyes.
I mean, I've said it. I've probably said it 4 times during this episode. I want Caleb Downs to fall down to 11. He's the best player in the draft. But you mentioned Carnell. That's why I mentioned Carnell Tate when Sean was talking, because these 4 guys right here, Arvell Reese, Sonny Styles, Caleb Downs, and Carnell Tate, is all going to go to the top 10. I want Caleb Downs to fall to 11 But if they let him fall down to 11, even if you don't need a safety, that is insane to me.
That's insane. Yeah, I agree. That's why when you said that, I was kind of like, whoa, bro. I
The,
don't think that should happen. If that happens, the NFL draft is broken.
the
And I
only
will
reason I say
go
that is because I've been looking at mock drafts. He's been falling down out of the top 10 in a couple mock drafts.
weird, especially with the Bengals trading out too to get Dexter Lawrence. It's like, or is anybody actually going to pick him? Because that was always the floor. Now, what is the floor? Is it Miami? I think probably it would be for him. But I will say about Arvell Reese, I think the thing that attracts a lot of NFL, bless you, a lot of
Yeah.
NFL execs to Arvell Reese is they vision him playing that edge role, and obviously edge is going to be more valuable than linebacker. So, Sean, you could be right. I'm not even going to make an argument about which one was better, but I will say if you had to put value on a position, edge would be much more valuable than linebacker when it comes to the NFL draft. And if these NFL scouts, these NFL coaches see him more so as an edge, that's going to raise his value.
Yeah.
All right, Sean,
Uh,
who's your other player you wanted to talk about?
you stole him. I was going to talk about one of Alabama boys, Caden Proctor. I mean, the dude is just an absolute animal. I mean, we've seen what he done in the weight room. We've seen the film. We watched him all year round. I mean, the dude is just an absolute freight train, right? I mean, he gets down and dirty. He makes the blocks. He does what he's told. And if he didn't do his job and wasn't great at his job, why would we see this dude line up as a running back, as a wide receiver, and literally change the whole dynamic of the game all year long? And if you see, that just goes to show you and goes to tell you how good of an athlete Caden Proctor is. If you can line him up out wide as a wide receiver, bro, and put him in a wildcat formation and let him run the ball, like that just goes to show you how much potential this kid has, man. And I think that he is going to be a great athlete. Think he's going to end up wherever he ends up going, right? I mean, he's
Yeah.
just going to be an absolute menace to society. Defenses are going to go crazy. They're not going to know what to do. They're not going to want to put anybody on his side. They're going to try to do decoys, stuff like that to try to throw him off his game. And I just think he's going to be a great pick, whoever picks him up.
So, yeah, I mean, Caden Proctor, he's always been a big kid. It was very hard for him to lose weight. They told him he needed to lose weight, and he
Lost
did it.
40
And
pounds.
he was a crazy athlete when he had the weight, and then when he lost the weight, he became an even more crazy athlete.
Yeah.
But
I mean, I don't know if y'all seen, but in right before the season had started, they had said he weighed in at 400, and then they got him to drop down to 365. That's 35 pounds, bro. That's a lot of weight
that's
to lose,
impressive.
especially at that big. And they're already saying he's in his best shape of his life. Like he's not like no 365 where he's just like fat. You know what I'm saying? He's 365 with a lot of muscle behind him. You know what I'm saying? Don't think that 365 is just all fat. That dude is. If you see him with his shirt off, that dude's got some muscle built up.
So,
No,
let's hear
no,
your
no,
player.
weird junk, Bosh. No weird junk. I see you.
Let's hear your players. You want to talk about Colin?
Yeah, so because you're talking about a tackle with Caden Proctor and both you guys did, one of the more impressive tackles. In fact, I think he's best overall tackle. I think it's Spencer Fano from Utah. Look, everybody's going to talk about Francis Malinoa. Malinoa is going to fit really well in a specific role, playing right tackle as a highly ranked or highly sought after prospect. That's going to be valuable, especially for somebody like Arizona, who has a left tackle solution, just not the right tackle. Spencer Fano could flip his stance. He could play either side. He's really athletic too. And that's the thing that stands out to me when I've watched Utah this year is how athletic that left tackle is, or tackle, whichever side, doesn't even matter. So his athleticism is going to be big time, and I'm excited to see where he ends up. And then the other two that I picked, if you guys don't have anything to piggyback off of, but the other two that I really like are kind of value picks. I think that they're going to get drafted much lower than their value. You guys are very familiar with this first one, R. Mason Thomas, edge rusher. This dude's freaky, man. He's got that great combination of power and speed. He can get off the edge. He can rush the passer really freaking well. I don't truly understand why he's not at least in more conversations to be a first rounder. I'm a big fan of R. Mason Thomas and the value that he could bring potentially in the second round, but maybe somebody ends up reaching for him late in the first round.
Which, yeah, I mean, our Mason Thomas is a he's a talented player. I agree with you on the tackle at Utah. I do think he's the best tackle in the draft. I did want to hit on Proctor and Caleb Tatarian though, because I think that's my top three right there. Bam.
Not Francis Mauigoa.
Not high on him, not at all. He's a big system guy, but not very high on him.
All right. Hey,
Um,
that could age well. You never know.
um, but I mean, when you just talk about those three guys compared to him, I mean, he's just not in the same ballpark, in my opinion.
Could age
But
well.
our Mason Thomas, he played in a Brett Venables defense, and that translates very well to the NFL. So, with today's the draft. This episode will be posted tomorrow when the second round starts. But I agree with you on that. We should see him drafted tonight.
I can agree the same thing. I mean, let's just be honest. I mean, Brent Venables is one of the best minds in college football when it comes to defense, right? Dude was great at Clemson, moves over to Oklahoma, and dude is doing the same things he was doing at Clemson at Oklahoma. Um, he has a little more resources now, so I think that he's getting a little better at the recruiting and getting those guys in there, right? And that kid, I mean, he showed out all year long. I mean, he didn't uh get the spotlight and all that like what all these other players were talking about, right? But I think that he's gonna bloom and flourish once he gets to the NFL, and we're gonna be hearing his name a little more often, I think.
Yeah,
Okay.
well said. And that third player that I wanted to talk about, I kind of wanted to blend two together. I just want to touch on Omar Cooper Jr. because I do think that he's going to have a great role within the slot for a team. And I think that's somebody who's going to need that reliable target for a quarterback. They're going to be more interested in Omar Cooper, but his teammate Elijah Surratt, man, if he ends up in the right spot with an accurate quarterback that knows how to be on time with those back shoulder passes, I don't know if I've ever really seen a college receiver in college be so successful with the back shoulder throws. I'm thinking maybe Aaron Rodgers last year. He's got this rookie receiver who can play in the Z that can dominate back shoulder. Elijah Surratt is a sleeper. Don't know why. Don't know why people aren't talking about him earlier than some of these guys that are ranked above him, such as Casey Concepcion or like even Antonio Williams is on PFF's big board above him. Like I just don't get that.
Yeah. So that's why I say this is I think the biggest things in this class, defensive back, tackles, receivers, because there is a lot of underrated, under the radar wide receivers. And I may be biased, and I'm a fan, and this is what this podcast is all about. But I'm high on Jeremy Bernard, and I feel like you're not going to be very high on Jeremy Bernard from the conversations we've had in the past. But I think
No, I'm fine with Jeremy Bernard. I don't think
he did a
he's
big part of
good.
running that offense last year. He had a big hand in running that offense.
Look, the thing about him is like he's gonna be good as long as he's allowed to play his specific role. Is
I think
so
he's a
he's got to
solid
be the
number two
right
guy.
fit. But like as far as just the type of player that he is, being able to like kind of not to the extreme, but kind of like what Debo Samuel has made a career off of.
That's what I
That's
was
the
worried
type of
about to
role
say.
he's going to have to fit into.
Yeah.
So he can
Yes.
be a really good player. It's just he's got to be in the right spot.
I agree. I
And
agree with that. I
you
can agree.
know the name that y'all keep throwing in there, and we keep hearing about Casey Concepcion. I'm not really high on the kid yet. I just you know who he reminds me of? He reminds me of kind of a Christian Kirk, kind of guy. Yeah. And the reason I say that, right, is I don't see it yet. I don't see all the hype and all the I haven't seen anything that has like crazy impressed me yet. That just goes, yeah, this guy's a top 20 or top 30. We'll just say.
So I will piggyback off of that, and then we'll go to our quarterback segment unless Boss wants to piggyback off of it as well. I will say this right here. I totally disagree with you. I think KC Concepcion will be good for somebody. I want to see him go to the Bills. I think he would be great for somebody like a Josh Allen. Which we'll find out tonight where he goes to. But I think tonight he may fall to second round, but he reminds me more of a Jalen Waddle. I watch a lot, I've kept up with Jalen Waddle. Of course, we know he went to Bama, then he went to my NFL team, and I've been high on Jalen Waddle. He's one of my favorite NFL players to watch, and that's when I see Jalen Waddle, I see KC Concepcion, and I think it would be a good fit for somebody like Josh Allen, especially with Stephon Diggs no longer being there. I would think that would be a great fit, and it might get Josh Allen to his first Super Bowl. Who knows?
Well,
But if nobody has anything to piggyback off of that, I want to go to our boom or bust segment for our quarterbacks. Um, the first quarterback I'm going to bring up, I took notes on about 4 quarterbacks for this segment. The first quarterback I want to bring up is Ty Simpson. I think he is the second best player in the NFL draft, and the only reason I will not say it quarterback wise second best, and the only reason why I will not say he's the best quarterback in the draft is because I do think Mendoza is a little bit smarter at the quarterback position than he is. I think Mendoza uses his brain to its full ability when he plays the quarterback position better than Ty Simpson. But where I think Ty Simpson beats Mendoza at, and where I think he's going to have a successful NFL career if he starts anywhere but the Jets or the Browns. I think he has a great release, great accuracy. I think he is a day one starter. I know we haven't seen a lot of film on him. He's a 1 year starter in college, but the little bit of film we have shows that he's a day one starter in the NFL. And I think he's going to have a long NFL career because he is, in my opinion, the most accurate passer in this NFL draft. We got to remember, he didn't have an offensive line. He didn't have a lot of time to throw the ball. And 9% of his passes were in the breadbasket. And as a wide receiver, you want him right there in the breadbasket where you don't even have to move your hands. He's a boom for me.
yeah, I'll piggyback off that since I'm about to talk about the same guy. So, Ty Simpson, right? I mean, we all know. I mean, he went through towards the end of the season. I mean, he was banged up, right? I mean, still played through it. Has a killer mindset, right? Great, great footwork. If you watch it, if you watch his footwork. Dude has great footwork. Has a strong arm. Accurate arm. Uh, Deep ball. It could use some work, right? But those
Yes, deep ball
medium
could use some
balls
work out
and
there.
and accuracy, closer balls that he throws. That my only worry is his deep ball, and it needs a little bit of work. But I mean, the dude killed it all year. I mean, he later on, he had a couple questionable games where we could have been like, yeah, is this dude really the guy? Is he really the second best quarterback? Eh, but me
There's no
personally,
quarterbacks that we can talk about in this NFL draft that had to run for their lives the way he did. Maybe
uh,
Taylor Green.
yeah, I mean, I think there's a couple more that ran around for their lives, but that's besides the point. Now, nobody, I don't think anybody got hit the way that Ty got hit, and the reason I say that is because Ty was a guy that didn't just he wasn't the guy that went for his first read or second read. I like Ty because he would go first read, second read, third read, sometimes even fourth read, right? I mean, he would sit there and let the play out like it's supposed to, like a quarterback's supposed to, and then there would be some times where they would just get to him. I mean, you can't expect the O line to hold the blocks, every single play. I mean, and our O line was awful all year. I told you, John, we had guards that were literally shuffling all year. We had the right side. Nobody was consistent on the right side. It wasn't even healthy all year, if we're being honest. And we had a center that didn't even play center up until this year. So I mean, that's why I'm really excited to see what Alabama does have as an O line this year. So we'll see. And I do think Ty Simpson will be a good quarterback. I'm hoping the Cardinals get him. I'm hoping the Cardinals get him. Uh, I do not want to see my boy go to the Jets or the Browns to burn and fire. All right, I swear I don't pray that on anybody. I don't.
I don't think the Browns are taking a quarterback in the first. So
I
So
don't
what?
think
But
that they
wasn't
would either because they got 5 different ones, but come on.
here we go, Colin. This is what I need to know, man. We've talked a lot off the air. Don't think you're very high on the guy. Is he a boomer or a bust for you?
I mean, ultimately, it's going to depend on where he gets picked. But if he's in the first round, I'd say bust for sure. Like I don't see him being a long-term solution for an NFL franchise. I think there's a lot of panic when he's in the pocket. And look, yeah, I know about the O-line issues, and it reflected in the run game too at Alabama. But there's just not enough
That offensive line
evidence.
never got to the second level. That's why he had no run game.
Yeah, yeah, and they certainly weren't great in pass pro either. And there is not just enough evidence for me to be convinced that Ty Simpson can consistently just be able to stand in the pocket and be strong with pressure in his face. And that's my biggest concern about Ty Simpson. He could definitely prove me wrong, but I just don't see a guy who's a little bit skittish being able to be a long-term successful plan with the NFL edge rushers that you see and the value that those guys bring to the field.
Here we go. Oh, you want to piggyback? Go ahead, Sean. My bad.
I didn't like what my boy Bosh said about my boy, so I had to say something. So if you okay, would you say I'm gonna ask you a question, Bosh. So would you say he is more of like a Mac Jones kind of guy that kind of just gets the back burner because of what ends up happening, right before they get rid of him? Or you saying, or do you think potentially he could be a Matt Ryan kind of guy that never gets over the hump?
I'm saying ultimately he's going to have his opportunities in game. He's going to be a starter. I just don't foresee that working out very well. And a lot of that does have to do with the situation. So, yeah, it could be maybe like Mac Jones. I mean, I don't really think about it that way. Because, and here's the thing about Ty Simpson, too. He's a coach's kid. He's going to have a position in the league somewhere that's going to be valuable. I just don't know if he can be a successful starter as far as leading a team to a playoffs. Like I think he's kind of going to be a career bridge guy.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. That makes sense. I think the point you're trying to make is if it was a second or a third round pick, it wouldn't be as big. It wouldn't be a bust.
Right. Yeah. Because that would be very valuable to be able to draft a guy that's going to be good, learn, not expected to start, not expected to be thrusted in that role. And I'm worried that like if he goes to one of those franchises that are desperate and clamoring for a young quarterback, I'm worried he's not going to have the best chance for success. He needs to be on a team that's built well around him so you can work with the weaknesses that I already brought up and bring out his strength being on time and accurate within the pocket when he's got a clean pocket.
Okay. So I want to go on to my next quarterback I've written down.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Skip me.
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I'll throw one at you. How about Sawyer Robertson? How do we feel about Sawyer Robertson? I mean, a lot of these guys that you're going to see in the NFL draft, because this quarterback class isn't deep, they have a lot of those like fundamental traits, but they don't have the natural arm strength and the size. Sawyer Robertson is the opposite. Sawyer Robertson has the strength, the arm strength, and the size. He just needs to work on some of those basic fundamentals. And if he goes to the right spot, like let's say just hypothetically, not even talking about their quarterback situation, Minnesota Vikings with Kevin O'Connell or Sean McVay with the Rams. You think that those guys couldn't work with the ball of clay that they have and refine those fundamentals with Sawyer Robertson? He can really throw
He's
the ball long. He's super accurate with the football, and he's got the prototypical size that you want in an NFL quarterback.
he definitely looks good. There's definitely some potential there. I think and I don't want to get ahead of myself because I don't want to name this guy I got written down yet, but I think he's in a situation similar to another quarterback. I'm going to hold off on his name that he just needs somebody to take a chance on him. The question with him is he's a great quarterback. He's great. He's one of the better ones in this draft class. The question with him, I say he's a boom. I don't say he's a bust because I think it's going to take a couple rounds before somebody takes a chance on him. I think it's going to be fourth. I think he could probably be a fourth or fifth round guy. I see Simpson, Mendoza is top. We all know this. We all know we're probably going to see them go in the first round. After that, I see a lot of third, fourth, fifth round guys, and that's where he falls in. So, yeah, it's a boom for me. I think he can have a very successful NFL career. You know, he fought very hard for what he earned at Baylor, and he's going to continue fighting hard. I don't know, like, this might sound silly, and this is not a lot of football knowledge behind it, but he was on the Gruden QB show, and he said he hadn't updated his LinkedIn. There's nothing on there. So he's bought in. He's a football player, so I'm for it.
There you go.
But one guy I want to talk about, Carson Beck. Bust.
Oh, yeah.
Bust. All right, here. And I got good reasons why. Sometimes he's clutch. You can name the games where we've seen him play clutch. Sometimes he's not. You can name the games where we've seen him not be clutch. Great passer. Won't take that away from him. Very good passer. But if his last read is not there, you can look at Georgia film, you can look at Miami film. Led them to both very successful season. And by the way, Georgia fans is going to watch this show. You have no reason to be mad at Mick. He did nothing but good for y'all. Okay. Anyway, now that I'm off that rant, he's a great passer, but there's one read guy. He panics after the first read's not there. I've seen it time and time again. It's not his arm that causes him to throw interceptions. My first read's not there. What do I do?
Hey, look, John, you already know where I stand on this one. I didn't get to talk about the other dude, but I think he's a buzz too. But this is the main one I want to talk about right now, right? We already know how I feel about Carson Beck, right? This dude is awful. I'm just gonna say it, awful, right? Now I ain't seen the dude be clutch yet. I look, people can flame me, do what you want in the Ole Miss game, right? But hey, look, I'm just calling it how I see it. Dude literally ran it in for the touchdown. Right? Hell, he put me out there. I'll run it in for a touchdown. Come on now. Hold that big. And when you got somebody holding literally right in front of the television, you rewind that clip. To me, hey, look, this dude's a bust. Hey, they better not draft him. He better go undrafted free agent. I don't care. This dude is not it.
There is an argument to be made, and I understand what you're saying. Was he really clutch, or did he just play for two really, really, really good teams? We got to remember, Georgia, a lot of people, they look like national champions. They never made it. Maybe Gunner was this year. But also, Miami, second best team in college football, and that defensive line's a lot to credit for that. But I know Colin's going to disagree. He's all wound up. So let's hear it.
I hope I got him wound up. That's what I want to
disagree with what? What do you mean? I am not a Carson. You think I'm going to buy into a guy who looks like Sid the Slot?
Well, I'm just saying. Everybody was excited to talk about it, and I was excited to talk about it.
Not Carson Beck. No, I am not a fan of Carson Beck. In fact, I have gotten in so many debates in your lives, John, where I have talked about how Cade Klubnik is a better prospect than Carson Beck.
Yeah.
Because he is.
I mean, we all agree. We all wanted to talk about it, and we all agreed.
Cade Klubnik's a sleeper. I don't care what anybody says. He's a
sleeper. Thank you. But apparently I'm crazy for thinking that. Look, Cade Klubnik, at the end of the day, like, I don't want to spend too much time on it. It was kind of a boom guy that I wanted to talk about. He's going to, at the very least, add value because, like, he is not ever going to be a culture issue. And he wasn't at Clemson. He was not the issue on that offense. And at best, you get somebody who can kind of manage the game really well for you. He could be like a Drew Brees light. I mean, he's kind of got that in him with a little bit of mobility in him. Carson Beck doesn't really have much in him. He's incredibly inconsistent. His accuracy is much worse ever since his UCL surgery. I'm out on Carson Beck. And where's Shark Tank quarterbacks? I never bought stock in the first place.
You know what,
All
like,
right.
Carson Beck reminds me of, John? Like, just the last thing I'm gonna say about it, right? He reminds
Yeah.
me of that kid. Do you remember when we used to go outside during recess and we used to play football with each other? And he's like that kid that literally was just the best athlete and just got put at QB and was like, "Hey, figure it out." You know what I'm saying? Like,
You know what college football robbed us of?
what's that?
Never getting to see Lane Kiffin coach Carson Beck. A celebrity as a head coach and a celebrity as a quarterback, that would have been awesome to watch. And they would have somehow managed to win games.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, if I want to bring up another guy, I got two more guys I'm going to bring up. Garrett Nussmeier, boom, he's a boom. He plays with great anticipation. I think he needs to improve his arm strength just as much as I think Ty Simpson needs to improve on arm strength, and I think that's something the NFL can develop. The weight room in the NFL will help with that, and he just needs the right mentor. He starts out as a backup, finds a good mentor. He's a coach. He's a coach's son. And look, say what you want to say about the guy, and it'll probably be true. But let's also remember, let any of these quarterbacks we have talked about or are going to need to talk about play for Brian Kelly. Brian Kelly is a bum.
Okay.
He should have never been in the SEC, and that's all I'm going to say. That's
No,
all I'm
you're
gonna say.
selling me a little bit. You're selling me a little bit on Garrett Nussmeier boom. But I will say the thing about Garrett Nussmeier is I am worried about his confidence being incredibly shot. Because he was a completely different player when he filled in that SEC championship. I think it was 2022 or 23 against Georgia. Do you guys remember that? When he came in for Jaden Daniels the year before Jaden Daniels won the Heisman.
Yeah, he looked good.
Okay. Yeah. And he was playing with incredible confidence. He was chunking the ball deep, and that arm strength thing that you're talking about, it looked like back then that was a strength and not a concern. Well, now it is. And I think the injury stuff is kind of like, sure, that is what it is. But I also really think that he just does not have a lot of confidence. And I worry about drafting a guy who does not think that, like, even if he were to say it, I don't know if inside he thinks he could be the best in the league. And he doesn't, I don't know if he's got that mindset to really be great anymore. I think that LSU and their situation specifically last year kind of ruined that.
So you
Look,
think he got ruined by Brian Kelly?
Yes, 100%.
That's
okay,
typical Brian Kelly for you. Let him get one last laugh before he leaves college football for good.
so here's what I'll say about Garrett Nussmeier, right? So I think the dude has potential, but I think, like Boss said, I think he lacks confidence and I think he lacks consistency. You know, and here's my reason behind it. I mean, I don't necessarily think it like he was the LSU problem last year, right? I don't think it was him, right? I think the problem was he lacked weapons. Like, because if we're being honest, LSU has been known to produce crazy weapons throughout the years. From when, I mean,
Clyde
Nick Saban,
Edwards-Helaire,
even ever
Jamar
since
Chase,
Nick Saban and
Justin
Les
Jefferson,
Miles in what? Oh, was it
Leonard
01? I
Fournette.
think when they were there. Ever since that era, they have been known to produce some kind of, whether it be a running back, a wide receiver,
You got don't forget
and
about Coach O. He produced one of the best LSU offenses we've seen.
yeah, and then I mean, LSU is one of the top programs in college football. If we're being honest, are we talking about? Oh, hold on. I'm not talking about like aka like in contention with a championship every year. I'm talking about if you want to talk about a program that has culture and has a lot of things that are backing that program up. They are one of those programs that do get pushed to the back burner when they are one of those programs that should be on up. You know what I'm saying? At least my
Yeah,
problem
I
is
won't
if
disagree there.
is right. So imagine if he would have had a Kyron Lacy, or if he would have had a Justin Jefferson or Jamar Chase, or a come on, I'm running out of names here, or somebody like
Leonard Fournette
Leonard
at running
Fournette.
back.
I mean, or just
Clyde
a crazy.
Edwards-Helaire.
I mean, they produced talent. He didn't have really that weapon that he could have utilized, if that makes sense. I mean, Jaden Daniels, that dude was just that's a once in a lifetime freak athlete that just comes through LSU, right? And but me personally, You aren't going to want to hear this, but I'm going to say he's a bust. That's just my opinion.
All
No,
right.
I'm with you. I'm with you.
So I got one more quarterback, but I want to save him for last, and nobody's named him yet. So if y'all got any more quarterbacks, hit them up. Hit me with them.
You got anybody, Sean, or not really?
Nah, I'm good because we still got to
All
talk
right.
about a couple more things. I think John's got to talk
Okay,
about.
so
I'll keep it pretty brief. Taylor Green, don't fall in love with him. Don't
oh my
fall in love
God,
with
I
the,
was just about to talk about him. And let me
don't
tell you
fall in
why he's gonna
love.
be. I can tell you why he's gonna be a bum, a boom, not a bum. Sorry, excuse
Boom,
me.
boom. No, 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 you don't. No,
First of
don't
all,
do this,
first
John. You're gonna look
first
like
of
a
all,
fool.
he's a freak athlete. He's 6'6". He runs a 4.36 40-yard dash. I know that's all combine stuff, and I know you don't care about that. But he has all the physical tools that can make anybody drool. And if he is not a boom as a quarterback, he will be the next Megatron.
He
Buddy, he's
won't
not
be
a.
the Megatron because he refuses to do it.
And let me
Why,
tell
hey,
you,
Bush?
let me
Why
tell
did
you,
he try to sound like he
whose
was
story does this
Eminem?
remind you of? NFL MVP Lamar Jackson 2.0.
No, he
Right
does
there.
not. Stop it.
Let
Even
somebody take a
Lamar,
chance on him.
even Lamar had more of a foundation to build off of. And we talked about this last night in TikTok Live. Again, second shout out, John Wayland Hollis, TikTok Live. Follow.
Hey, he
I will
thinks
Anyway,
say this. I will say this. All right. Lamar was a Heisman winner. Yes. Taylor Green wasn't. Lamar had that Louisville team was better than an Arkansas team. I mean,
okay,
that's the best
name
2 and
two
10
other
team
players on that
I've ever
offense.
seen, but they still went 2 and 10.
Look, look, Taylor Green, the biggest thing with him is just how bad he is throwing the football. Like when you're talking about NFL, like sure, he's kind of solid for college, like a little inconsistent, but you could kind of work around it. You could put up a lot of points with a guy like that. But in the NFL, when the windows are smaller, Taylor Green might have like 15 rushing touchdowns as a full season starter. He's also going to have like 20 picks. You realize that, right?
All right. And I want to hit on, I want to say this before I go to this next topic. It's not Taylor Green related. We're going to agree to disagree. And in 4 years from now, when this podcast is booming with 100,000 subscribers, I'm going to say I told you so.
You're not going to say that.
But
You're going to try to forget about it.
couple guys to keep there. I won't hit on these guys much, but a couple guys I'm keeping eye for out. Kay Klubnik, Drew Aller, and Jaden Daniels. Jalen Daniels. I think Jalen Daniels will get drafted in the 7th round, and I'm really interested to see how his career goes. If you're late in the rounds and you want to take a chance on a depth quarterback, I think he's a solid pick. And I'm interested to see Drew Aller and Kay Klubnik. I think they can be booms. I think they can be busts. They both had very inconsistent college careers. And now, if y'all want to piggyback on that, y'all can. If not, we'll go to our next topic.
my favorite one out of those three is Drew Aller. I think that kid is just he was born to play football, and I'm very high on him. Just like I am Cade, but I think he might turn out better than Cade, and the reason I say that is because he's gonna get drafted later on in a draft, and I think that he becomes a great backup quarterback in the league. Don't think he starts though. I don't think he ever gets that.
Now, I want to get into the meat and potatoes of this episode, the Fanbase Draft. And all of the draft, we will be drafting 3 different things today. And the first thing we're gonna have 4 picks each for the best college football fans. We can both pick the same, whatever the case may be. This is just our opinion in top 4 best college football fans. And number 1, I'm going no other than the greatest fan base in the country with my number 1 overall pick, the Alabama Crimson Tide. And I'm just going to tell you why very shortly. Consistency, excellence. Fans expect a championship every year. And when they play Rammer Jammer after they beat the hell out of the opposing team, there's nothing like it in the world. It crushes every other fan base's souls. And that's it. That's the bottom line. That's my number 1 overall pick. Whoever wants to pick next can pick their number 1 overall pick.
I mean, you kind of stole mine, but I'll throw. I got one right off the top of my head that I'm ready to sing out there. That would be my number 2 pick any day of the week. Mine would be Virginia Tech, man. When I just hear Enter Sandman, man, that just gets me amped. And you're in a stadium like that, man. Man, you don't get hyped like that anywhere else in the country besides maybe 2 or 3 places, right? There's only really 2 or 3 stadiums that can get crunk like that Virginia Tech Hokies, man. and that is like one of the top 3 songs in America.
Sean, that song just makes the only reason you put them so high is because you want to put a helmet and pads on when you hear that song.
And I want to drink a cold beer. Come on.
Roll Tide, Nick Saban, cold beer.
Come on.
Collins, give us your number 1 and go ahead and give us your number 2 pick.
I'll draft Tennessee. Look, I can't stand Tennessee fans. I can't stand
Get him out. Get him out of here, man.
I can't stand Tennessee fans. They're obnoxious. They're delusional. But isn't that what makes college football great? And shoot, I got to credit Tennessee fans for some of my most viral moments over on TikTok. All right. So, Tennessee fans, you're always going to be my enemy because you guys are dumb, delusional. But with that being said, you always get me views when I talk about you. The second fan base I'm going to talk about, you know, I really love a good Iowa fan. It's kind of crazy being from, up here a little bit north. You can make fun of me, whatever. I don't care. Iowa fans, they're loyal. They love their team. And they're also like really angry all the time, except for when they wave to those children. That's about it. Those guys, like, bro, they bring it every single home game. And when you know one too in person, dude, they love all of their sports teams, and nothing matters more than Hawkeye football, Hawkeye basketball, whatever it is.
I'm ready to hear John. John didn't say his number 2 yet, so I'm ready to hear John's.
Well, yeah, we're doing like a snake. So he told me to go back to back.
I'm about to give my number 2 and number 3, and y'all are gonna give y'all's number 3.
All right.
So
wait, Sean didn't do his second.
Yeah, he did.
It was Virginia Tech. It was Virginia Tech.
Oh, so Alabama was your first then. Okay.
Yeah, because
I made that mistake.
Gotta be.
So with my number 2 overall pick, give me the LSU Tigers. And don't get me wrong, I hate LSU, but let me tell you something. They got the gold standard. They got the gold standard for intimidating between the tailgating, the neck chants, the real Death Valley at night, the hardest place to play in the country. Not even arguable. The hardest place to play in the country. And with my number 3 overall pick, give me Penn State at Beaver Stadium. The whiteouts, self-explanatory. It's the most visual, stunning atmosphere in sports. And 10,000 fans in a stadium wearing white, screaming, in unison. Imagine being a quarterback trying to play in that environment. I'm taking Penn State number 3, best college football fan base.
You can go, Bosh. I'll let you go. I'll go last.
All right. Put me back on the spot. Number 3 for me is going to be Oklahoma. Again, kind of like the Tennessee thing.
SEC than I expected.
Delusional for sure. Annoying for sure. Noxious for sure. But you got to be a really loyal fan to repeat the same stuff like an idiot over and over. Boomer Sooner, Boomer Sooner. Bro, that's buy-in. Looking like that much of an idiot is buy-in. So I'll give him a lot of credit where credit's due. Boomer Sooner, Oklahoma fans, you deserve it.
Hey,
let's hear it, Sean.
Yeah, I kind of got like a equal tie. So, and I'm gonna explain myself, right? So my 3rd is Boise State and South Carolina, right? They're tied, and I'm gonna tell you why. So South Carolina, the reason why they're at my number 3, right, is because, dude, like, when you go through it that much, when you go through it and you have like just the worst years, like back to back to back to back to back, multiple years in a row, after Steve Spurrier did what he did for that program, man, like it's just they're loyal, man. They're loyal to their team, and it's like I just don't understand it sometimes. I'm like, dang, they had another 3-9 year. They had another 2-10 year. You know what I'm saying? Like
I will say this as well, man. I have had the opportunity to be at a South Carolina home game. I seen them play in the Birmingham Bowl. Their fans traveled very well to Birmingham to play South Florida way back years ago. But I've had the opportunity to tailgate with them. Great atmosphere, good people, good fan base, and they were playing little old Mac team, Akron. And I'm telling you, that sandstorm, luckily it was a night game, probably made the experience better, but that sandstorm is one of the best things in college football. There's the sandstorm when you get to experience in person like I did, you will have chills go up and down your body. And I'm not meaning to steal your pick or nothing. I didn't put them in my top 4, but I do understand why you would pick South Carolina.
Yeah, and the reason I picked Boise State at 3, right, is
That's a
man,
surprise.
that blue turf, that stadium, where they're located, I mean, it puts it all together, right? I mean, they're from a state that, they really only have college football like Bama. That's all they got. I mean, it's self-explanatory, right? I mean, they don't have much. I mean, all they do is grow potatoes and junk up there. I mean, they ain't got much, right? So that's why I put that's why I put the Stallions up there at number 3, and I guarantee you them boys go crazy when it comes to football season, because that's all they got to, man.
All right, so with my 4th and final pick on the best college football fans, give me Texas A&M at Kyle Field. Do I think what they do there is weird? Yes, it's very weird, but that's what makes it so good. Like the 12th man is a literal thing there, and that stadium can move when it gets loud. But it's weird and it's cult-like, and that's what puts it in my. That's why I'm drafting it at 4th. That's who y'all's final pick for this.
4th. Go Buckeyes, baby. I mean, look, we're obnoxious. We're loud. At the end of the day, though, you can't argue. You can't argue with the success that we've had since 2000. We're even more consistent than Bama. We
Oh
are.
my goodness.
And you gotta eat that. Look, national
gotta go.
championships,
Get out here.
at the end of the day, you're going to win. You're going to win when it comes to the national championships. But every single year of my life, except for the Luke Fickell year, we've been right there. Alabama can't say the same thing. You guys can't say the same thing about your team. But the best thing about Buckeye fans is we let you know. We let you know. We don't like keep quiet. We're not going over here with like, yeah, you guys know who we are. Like, no, we're going to be like, we're going to let you know who we are. We're going to be loud. We're going to be obnoxious. But in all reality, the best thing about Ohio State fans, everybody knows everything about their team. They're the one team, like me being such like a diehard college football fan, they're the only team that I can actually talk about to other people. I can't even talk about Alabama fans or their team, to Ohio State fans because they don't know anything about Alabama. And I, being a college football fan, does. So but they're so passionate and they're so knowledgeable about their own team. It means everything around here. And I think that's why Ohio State deserves a spot.
All right,
Who you got, Sean?
that's wild. That is wild. Well, with my 4th pick, shout out to my boy Matt. I'm going with Michigan, man. And look,
Dude, get out of here. No, they're
And
horrible.
I knew this was rage bait material.
They're
right? I knew it
delusional.
was rage bait
They're
material.
delusional.
He turned his camera off.
I knew
I
this
didn't.
was rage bait.
That was low battery, actually.
So
The timing
I
couldn't have been
choose
better, though.
Michigan, right? Because those fans are just as delusional as Ohio State. They're delusional as Miami. They're delusional as LSU, Auburn, all those guys. They're all delusional. But these guys, let me tell you, right? These fans are so loyal to their team. Even though they go through a cheating scandal, they go through a coach who literally slept with his assistant. They have to sit here and suffer with one title in the past, what? Was it like 30 years? Maybe a little longer?
It was almost 30, and they have half a real championship in the last 100 years.
So it's been a long time, is what I'm getting at, right? So
yeah, because they suck though.
Yeah, I know, and that's why I'm saying they've got a good fan base because they're delusional, they're crazy, and they do have one of the biggest stadiums in college football, if not the biggest. I think it is.
It is the biggest. It is the biggest.
I mean, those guys, they're loyal to their team, man. So Yeah.
Hey, it's not that hard to go and put BTA to them in their own stadium. We didn't allow them to score a single touchdown this past year, and we didn't act like a bunch of sore winners planting a flag in the middle of the field. When you guys were guarding the middle of the field, we just sat back and went, ha, joke's on you. Look at the scoreboard. That's all we have to do. So we're still better than them. I don't really care.
All right, so I want to get into our next draft, and in honor of the NBA playoffs, I want to do this: the worst NBA fan base.
Oh, I got you.
So with the
Easy.
number 1 overall pick for me, give me the 76ers. And this is why. We all know what the 76ers are famous for. They're famous for booing their own players. If things go south, the boos come out. And if they're losing, in the fourth quarter, the home crowd is their biggest opponent.
Give me the Warriors, bro. Give me the Warriors.
What?
Bro, none of them
Wow.
are real fans. I hope you know that. Like, all of them latched on to the Warriors about 10 years ago. And frankly, I don't even know why I bring them up because they're not Warriors fans anymore. So,
Nobody's ever watching this podcast again. We've officially, in 3 episodes, pissed off every fan base. Go ahead, Sean.
All right. Well, mine's about to piss some more people. Mine is the Chicago Bulls.
I
no.
didn't put them down.
These dudes, right? These dudes. Okay, you got your old timers that are like, okay, I respect the old timer Chicago Bulls fans, right? But I'm talking about the Bulls fans that are from like the Derrick Rose era till now, right? Those dudes, let me tell you, those dudes are delusional. They act crazy. They don't know. They don't know what it's like. They literally thought they was gonna win a ring. They don't, and they thought Derrick Rose was the next MJ, and it just didn't happen.
So, with my number 2 overall pick, give me the Miami Heat. And even as a Dolphins fan, I can pretty much say this is for Miami fan base across all sports, even college football. But they love to yap on the internet. Well, they won't go sit and support their team. And the reason I give the Heat is the same reason. Like, Miami Hurricanes just played in the national championship, and Indiana brought a bigger crowd, and the game was at Miami. And it's like that with the professional sports too. The Heat, they don't show up until, and the lower bowl does not get filled into the late second quarter, and they're a terrible NBA fan base.
All right. Give me any LeBron team of all time. I'll take the Lakers for now. If you're a LeBron fan and you've just been following LeBron, meat riding LeBron for the last 20 years, go get a life, bro. You probably don't even have a job, all right? Or maybe you're cutting pizzas. I don't even know. Bro, LeBron, overrated. Michael's better.
Sean, I don't know if you had a chance to watch the first 2 episodes or not, but this is 90% college football, and he manages to bring up LeBron James in every episode.
Yeah, man, get LeBron out of here, bro. He's an embarrassment to Ohio.
But go ahead, Sean. Give us your
the
pick.
only championship to Cleveland, bro.
Yeah, I don't care. Cleveland sucks anyway.
The draft is done for Colin. He just made like his 3rd, 4th, and 5th pick.
So for my second pick, right? My second pick, I'm gonna have to go with the Rockets, man. Going with the Rockets, and here's why. I was a huge Rockets fan. Look, I'm gonna be honest. I was a bandwagoner for the Rockets, right? And the reason I was is because my favorite player played for them. And when my boy Harden couldn't get the job done, right? I mean, he went to the playoffs, kept getting put out by the Warriors, right? So the Rockets are like, yes, I get it. He couldn't get over the hump, but you can't sit here and boo a player when he's literally been the best thing for you in the past like 20 years, right? I mean, who was the only other player they had? Yao Ming? I mean, come on. Trevor Ariza? Come on. Like, let's be real. You know what I'm saying? None of those guys were doing what James Harden was doing with that team. And
Yao Ming was pretty good now.
Yeah, dog, right? But yeah. So I'll just leave it at that.
But with my 3rd pick, I'm gonna go ahead and give my 3rd and 4th pick. The Nets, uh, is my third pick. They're the Knicks' little brother. Nobody in New York cares about the Nets, and it's kind of like they're not putting on as good as a show as the Knicks are in Madison Square Garden. And Pistons fans, and why I put Pistons fans on there, it's not so much Pistons fans right now while they're at top of the East. It's in recent years when they haven't been as good. Their arena sounds like a library. So, what's your final two picks?
Cleveland sucks, bro. I hate Cleveland. Cleveland is disgusting. It smells like feet there.
Talking about as a home team. It's a home team.
No, not for me, bro. I don't vibe with Cleveland. I mean, Cleveland's gross. Northeast Ohio can go away for all I care. I imagine, by the way, going and burning one dude's jersey and then a few years later praising him like he's our Lord and Savior. That's what they did. That's what they did. I have no respect for Cleveland. My fourth pick, by the way, Boston Celtics. Oh, whatever, bro. You guys lucky, and you try to rub it in for no reason. Try to rub it in, brother. Back off, okay? You had Larry Bird and Bill Russell, and you had that fantastic three that you had back in the day. Don't rub it in. Please don't rub it in.
All right, so
Personal attack. Sorry, John.
Sean, who do you got, Sean?
All right. So my last pick is going to be the Orlando Magic.
What's wrong with Magic fans?
The Magic fans, everything's wrong with them, right? They have no spirit, they have no fight, and they have no care about their team. When I see Orlando Magic playing, I don't see any fans over here jumping up and down. Yeah, let's go Magic. I haven't seen anybody jump up and down for Orlando Magic games since Shaquille O'Neal was here. And how long ago was that? You ain't
Well, they
seen
did.
the Magic go crazy since he was there.
They did have some good backing when Dwight Howard was there.
Yeah, I mean, Shaquille, Dwight, that was about the only years that they had that were great.
So, for our last topic for today, and this I think we done really well today. It went way over what I thought we were gonna do. As the most annoying online fan bases. I want to look. I know this first pick I have is somebody, and y'all are going to pick them. The Cowboys fan, most annoying online fan base. This year is our year. Every single year, they're the kings of social media. They would have 50 Super Bowls in social media. They got 50 social media Super Bowls. And when's the last time they made an NFC championship? Don't even answer because nobody can remember. I wish Isaac was here. Little cowgirl fan.
Why don't we just stay in the division and talk about Eagles fans, bro? Fly, Eagles, fly. That's all they know of their fight song. And the other part about Eagles fans, too, is all of them are Philly guys. I don't think Philadelphia is big enough for you, bucko. So back off with this Philly stuff. You guys, literally, the tush push is the worst thing in football history.
Oh, I love the tush push.
Get out of my
That's
face.
hard-nosed football.
No, it's not. It's hard-nosed false starts.
Go ahead, Sean. Give us your number one.
Okay. So with the last one, the most annoying fan base to me and worst fan base in the history of college football has got to be the Miami Hurricanes.
Okay. I thought you were about to say Ohio State over here. I was about to rage.
And
I agree. They're horrible.
I thought you were going to talk about my Dolphins.
The Miami Hurricanes, man, let me just tell you, they are psychotic. They don't have any brain cells. They just argue because they just think that bling, 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 bling this, bling that, da, 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 right? They just think that their crap don't stink. Well, I got news, Miami. Your crap stinks, and it ain't been smelling good. And you lost in the national championship when it mattered.
All right, so my number 2 overall pick, and Colin's probably about to jump through the roof when I say it. Give me LeBron fans. You cannot talk about LeBron. If you mention the name LeBron in front of these online LeBron fans, the LeBron versus Jordan debate never dies after that. And if you ever rank LeBron at number 2, the King James fans will flood your social media with a 100-page essay. As Bosch has mentioned, as Colin has mentioned many, many times, I run TikTok Live nearly 7 days a week. And I can't stand for any NBA to be around, not because of my dislike for NBA, but because the LeBron fans on social media. Don't put him at number 2 behind MJ and you'll be fine.
What if I put him at
Oh
3?
man. Can
Oh,
I
don't put him.
piggyback off of that and talk about any LA sports fan that's ever existed? Honestly,
number
if you're an
3
LA
pick?
sports fan, I know you don't watch sports. That's just a sign that you don't know what you're looking at. It could be a football game and be like, 3! Like, no, bro, back off. You guys don't know anything about sports. All you know about is cleaning up the feces on your road. All right.
Oh, well, who's your
I'm
number
sick
2
of your
pick?
fair weather bullcrap.
Who's your number 2 pick?
Me?
Yeah. LA fan?
Any fan of an LA team, to piggyback off of what you said. If you're a fan of an
okay.
LA team, you're
got
not
you.
coming across this podcast anyway because you don't like sports.
Well, mine's kind of piggybacking off of Bosch's. Mine isn't LA, but it's another city. New York! I hate them! I don't like New York. They don't know nothing about sports. Another city that is basically just got money and they just so happen to have sports in the area. But what has New York produced in the last, like, what do you say? I would say at least 15 years. Like, what did they produce? Like, great teams. Like, not
Bro,
really any.
John, you gotta let me skip ahead here because I was actually about to say the Yankees next. Yankees fans, you think if you have that NY on your hat, it gives you some sort of street cred? Bro, it doesn't. We just think you're, you know what? We just think you're a bitch. I mean, that's all. I'm just gonna say it. All right. I don't care about monetization at this point. All right. Monetization can go away.
So I'm gonna go ahead and put my 3rd and final pick right here, and we'll end up cleaning y'all 2 draft and we'll close it out. But my number 3rd pick is the Swifties that have came into the sport of NFL. Since the Kelsey and Taylor Swift era began, they are running the NFL. They're running sports. They don't know ball, and they try to act like they do. All these Swifties in the NFL. And I hope a Swiftie comes across this. I hope I post this clip on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, and y'all on all the Swifties comment on it because y'all don't know what y'all are talking about anyway. And last is Auburn fans. Just because they're Auburn. Their little brother, they don't strive for excellence like Alabama. They don't expect national titles like Alabama. They just try to beat Alabama. We live so rent free in their head, and they get online and type up their little Betty Aqua. Well, guess what? It's still going on. I don't know if y'all seen the player that A&M got that plays for the Knicks, and he played for the Heat. Check it out. Come back and talk to me about it. Let's make that big news. Who's y'all's final 2 picks?
Pick. It's gonna be the Georgia Bulldogs. If I have somebody else bark at me that is not a freaking Marine, because who started the barking in 1775? Good to go. And second off, you don't even say nothing to them. You just walking through Athens or something, and all you hear is like, what are we doing? Why aren't we barking at each other?
Yeah, it's kind of like
Like,
it's kind of like if you take the SEC, it's kind of like Mississippi State. They're not as good, but they're more educated Bulldog, and then Georgia is just a untrained, uneducated Bulldog.
they just go crazy for no reason. Like, I've never seen it before in my life. Let's just bark at the wall, basically.
Yeah, I mean, I went to that SEC championship game in 2023, and yeah, it was bad. They get in your face and spit on you, and it's bad.
You know what they get for that? My mama taught me what a backhand was.
So let's see your final pick, Colin.
Can you take a guess? You know who it is.
It's
the Walmart Wolverines, man. The Walmart Wolverines over here. They do not care about any sort of sport unless they're good. So it's like, oh, look, we just won the football national championship. We're better than you. We're better than you after you won us. Okay, whatever. Your basketball team went 8-24. Then they suck at football, get their butts whooped by us, but then they're like, oh, we're just not a one-sport university. Your noses are only so high in the air because we beat you so bad over the last 100 years that they can't come back down. You guys suck. You guys suck. You're terrible and you're horrible fans. You only like your team when you're good, and you only like your team when Walmart is selling the T-shirts in the front shelf. That's it.
So I will say this. I will say this before we end it on that tonight. But um, I will say this. I don't 100% agree with that. But the one thing I do about online sports fans, there's nothing better than watching an Ohio State fan and a Michigan Wolverine fan go at it. And with that being said, we're going to end the podcast for today. Appreciate you for listening to us. Follow us on our Oh Hello Sports Podcast on TikTok, Facebook, and Instagram. Make sure you subscribe to us on YouTube and Spotify as well. Also, we all put out great individual content. Give us a follow if you can. And that's it for today. Toodles.